We start, of course, Kate, with the big story, and we both thought we'd be standing here talking about the Gold Coast Suns' best ever start in their history, but we're not, because the Tigers have shocked the football world and handed the Suns their first loss of the season. 11 points was the margin in the end. And the Tigers, they get their second win, and most people thought they wouldn't win a game this year.
Yeah, this is a massive upset. Obviously, we were looking at Gold Coast coming into this round undefeated, going back against a team, as you said, Nat, that looked like they might not win a game this season and upset the Blues in round one, and now they've done the same to the Suns. But the Suns let them down a little bit, if we're being completely honest. They had their opportunities, but can't take anything away from Richmond, their ability to fight all the way to the end. Gold Coast came back at them in the fourth term. They sort of were still good enough to be able to hold them out, and contested possession, an area that they pride themselves on, or that most teams pride themselves on. Richmond won that, but not many other stats they did win, which is disappointing from a Gold Coast perspective, considering they lost the match.
Yeah, Nick Floston was excellent. He had 15 intercept possessions. Tim Taranto, 35 disposals and a goal as well. They led the way for the Tigers. But Kate, I just wanted to draw your attention to this, because after round 9, 2021, Damien Hardwick, who was the Tigers coach at the time, made the comments that he hated coming to Marvel Stadium, and it appears as though that curse has continued.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if he doubled down on that, because he clearly still hates it. The teams that he coached doesn't like it either. Interesting, though, the last time they were there, which was the goal after the siren for that one win over Essendon, when McAndrew took that mark and kicked it through. But yeah, not a happy hunting ground for Damien Hardwick, is it?
No, he is haunted by Marvel Stadium, that is for sure. Now, you mentioned the Suns and their missed opportunities, and they're certainly going to rue, in particular, their inside 50s and conversion as we take a look here. But that second quarter, that was a bit dirty from them.
Oh, the second quarter was clearly the worst, but overall in the game, they still had plus 20 inside forward 50s. And you think of their forward line, the player that was leading the Coleman coming into this round, Ben King, didn't score a goal. They had 13 marks inside forward 50 as well, but just some of the mistakes that they made with their entries were really, really poor. So long, high kicks in. To be completely honest, there's two teams that I've analysed quite closely with their forward 50 entries this season. First one's Carlton, second one's Melbourne. And this looked like the way that they were using the ball earlier in the season. They were completely burning teammates that were in a better spot to then get a deeper entry, or they were doing just this, just bombing it long. They had the outnumber, and they were able to just intercept and go straight back at them. So their ball use, moving the ball inside that forward half, was really, really poor. And what we've come to know from the Gold Coast Suns from the past. So last year, they torched their ball going inside forward 50, really poor in that area for conversion. They've been able to get on top of it so far this year. And it's interesting, when the pressure comes back on you as a team, it's that saying, old habits die hard, and they started to feel the pinch, bomb it long, and got no bang for buck.
Now, if I go back and revisit your crystal ball predictions from the start of the year, you do have the Suns making finals for the first time. Has your opinion changed in that regard?
Not at all. I think it's 24 weeks, our season of football. They're obviously a game behind still with that one to make up against Essendon. But no, this doesn't change my opinion of the Gold Coast Suns and their ability to make finals. I think we're very reactive in football media. There's people even after last week saying that the Hawks, there's question marks around them. You're allowed to have an off week. You're allowed to have an off couple of weeks. And it's how they come out on the other side of this now, and the changes that they make. Easy to make changes when you've had 18 inside 50s for one goal. The only way from there is up.